Welcome into Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey, and we are 83 subscribers away from our next milestone of 11,000, and we will be here all offseason long, hitting everything going on around the Vikings, from draft to free agency to all the things in between that. So if you want free Vikings videos pretty much every day, hit that sub button right now. Here's what's coming up on today's Vikings Now on Super Bowl Sunday, no less. How about drafting Jordan Addison / is Adam Thielen going to return? We'll also look at 3 proposed Kirk Cousins trade destinations. Those are curious and interesting, to say the least. But we're going to begin with Jordan Addison. CBS Sports, the Vikings, as I drop my fume pen, had the Vikings taking Addison in their latest NFL mock draft, which I'm pretty on board with here. Now, there are some parts I'm not sure I agree, but here's what they wrote. Jordan Addison, Adam Thielen, we'll get to that, and Justin Jefferson form a dynamic trio in Minnesota for now, but the Vikings are set up with sustainability at wide receiver for many years to come. Addison played for both Pitt and USC. He was the number 1 receiver for Kenny Pickett before he was a first-round pick, and was the number 1 receiver this past year for Caleb Williams, who will be a first-round pick next year. I would say that wide receiver falls a little bit more, at least for now, it's only February, in the want category as opposed to the need category. That could change depending on what you do with Adam Thielen, how much confidence you have in guys like KJ Osborne, etc. But as we sit right now, it's not your number 1 need. I would say insert defensive position here outside of maybe safety, maybe edge if you keep your guys. Those are bigger areas of concern. But Addison's a great player. If he's there for you back in round 1, he'd probably be the best player on your board. So what do you want to do when it comes to wide receiver, assuming it's one of those bigger tier names? Do you want to draft a wide out in round 1? Type in D for draft or type in P for pass. This will be the pinned comments on today's video. So if the ad break happens to come here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in your D for draft or P for pass. Now, the other part of this, I almost merged the word portion and part together, is the future of one Adam Thielen. He said he wants to retire a Viking on First Take. The problem you're running into here is that it might make too much sense financially to cut him. And he was still productive-ish, but I do think the results are beginning to head in the wrong direction for Thielen. Here's what he said on First Take. I hope so. I want to retire as a Minnesota Viking. I grew up a Vikings fan, watching Chris Carter and Randy Moss, and I want to retire as a Viking. Will that happen? I don't know. This is also a business, and I want my chance to show I can play at a high level, so we'll see what happens. To me, that reads as, I want to be here. If I get cut, I'm going to explore my options because I'm not done playing football. Thielen is not what he was in his prime. I don't think we can really make that argument anymore. The numbers have gone the wrong direction. I mean, the average, less so the catches and yards due to injuries, but the average in touchdowns and yards have dropped each of the past 3 years. That's a red flag. As far as I'm concerned, in terms of now he's on the wrong side of 30. He can still contribute, but not at his current cap hit, as we'll get into in a little bit. But first, today's show made possible by Fume. We all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard it can be to kick those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit or a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is powerful and it feels pretty good overall. The Journey Pack, by the way, comes with 3 unique flavors for you to enjoy. I got white cranberry in here. It's my favorite one. They also got maple pepper and crisp mint as well. It's important to know that Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is switch to a positive one. And Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. Head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to save an additional 10% off your order. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. Let's talk cap savings now for Adam Thielen. They save $6.4 million if they cut him pre-June 1st, and $13.4 if they cut him after June 1st. The post-June 1st can use the money until then, but pays for your draft class, other various moves like paying Justin Jefferson would help you accomplish there. If Thielen returns, it has to be on a discount. You can't keep him at his current cap hit. I get that he's a great Viking. I understand all of that, but it doesn't make roster construction sense to keep the current version of Thielen on his current cap hit. You have to make an adjustment there. Approach him about a pay cut first and foremost, but I think the cut is maybe the more likely of the options there. So what do you think when it comes to Adam Thielen? Do you want to bring him back? Y for yes, N for no. Go sound off for me in the comments section. Let's move to Kirk Cousins, the trade destinations from Vikings territory. We'll go through all three and discuss the likelihood. I think in general, I don't think a trade happens, but decent-ish to an extent destinations. Number one, the New York Jets, who of course tried to get Kirk Cousins back when the Vikings signed him, and I think they have regrets about not getting that deal done because they have not been very good in the same time frame. Now, the article mentioned Jets owning number 13 overall pick. I don't know what the trade value is for Kirk Cousins. The contract is still a bit expensive, but you add Kirk Cousins to the Jets, assuming they miss out on of course, their desired Aaron Rodgers target. They've officially spoken / reached out to Green Bay about a Rodgers trade. Cousins on the Jets is a playoff team. It is. Now, I don't get it from the Vikings standpoint. What are you getting? Because you were just a playoff team with Kirk Cousins. Like, maybe now is not the right time. But that Jets defense is really strong. They're missing the quarterback. That's all they're missing, I think. Same thing about Denver last year, and we know how that turned out with Russell Wilson. But I think they're missing the quarterback. The Jets adding a big-time splash makes sense. I like the Jets fit compared to the other two teams on this list. The Carolina Panthers are next up here. Now, look, they got quarterback concerns. Sam Darnold's a free agent. Baker Mayfield, of course, already got traded. Quarterback one currently is Matt Corral, and I get Golden Corral. Matt Golden Corral's a fun meme. He's not ready. He didn't play this year. Stability at quarterback would be huge for Carolina. Also, I think in pretty decent shape roster-wise. They've got a top 10 pick. They could draft a quarterback, let Frank Reich pick his preferred option of the big four this year. So not the worst idea, but not my favorite option either. And I was shocked that the Niners are not on this list because Shanahan just needs a healthy quarterback. As producer Patrick said pre-show, like, if he's healthy, they're going to win games, right? The Raiders are going to move on from Derek Carr, whether it's today, Monday, Tuesday, well, probably by Wednesday because they got the deadline here. Raiders have some nice pieces. They're going to go after Rodgers, it sounds like, first. Does Josh McDaniels want Derek Carr or out and move into Kirk Cousins? My fear is that's slight upgrade button, but not enough for what the Raiders want. But it's also Josh McDaniels, and he's doing the exact same thing he did in Denver last time. So it's all very interesting to me. Outside of maybe the Jets, I don't love the fit. And frankly, I just keep him. I know he's expensive. I get all of that. But the Panthers and Jets, like, think about it this way. When Cousins went to Minnesota, the Jets and Commanders were the two main linked teams, right? Both of those teams have been overall pretty terrible because of the fact they did not get Kirk Cousins. They've tried other options at QB, and both of them are right where they were back then. No stability at quarterback, and they've been, outside of the occasional decent year, they've been a bad football team. The value that even a Kirk Cousins brings to you, I think, is shown by the difference between the Vikings' path and the Jets' path since landing Kirk Cousins. So what is your confidence level in Kirk Cousins? Now, this one much more up for debate. Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Get those votes in for me in the comment section right now.